Go, 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 yeah, bitch. Rolled and smoked by a shotgun, bozo. In today's Destiny 2 meta, when it comes to boss weapon damage, it's very rare to find legendary weapons outside of the heavy slot to be the primary source of damage for your build. Typically, you'll find them as a support cast to other powerful setups in your build. These are your Praedyths, your Supremacies, your envious arsenal ammo / prismatic printing machines like Cycle Pump and Lost Signal, and so on. And while things like Lord of Wolves and Legend of Acreus hold things down in the exotic slot, it's even more rare to ever see a shotgun being used as a top weapon in general in the legendary form, until today. Unvoiced is a legendary shotgun from the Sundered Doctrine dungeon that not only breaks the mold, but it crushes it with a 5-star frog splash off the top rope. What makes it so special, you might be asking? This demon has a unique combination that can roll redirection plus bait and switch. This combination allows you to match or exceed the damage of most damage supers in the game in just 3 to 4 shots. The damage output can compare to the best shotguns in the game entirely, which include Lord of Wolves and Legend of Acreus, though it should be absolutely noted that this is more of a niche setup, and both Lord of Wolves and Acreus have their benefits, with Lord of Wolves being the best burst DPS option, and Acreus being the best option for non-crit bosses or ones that hide their crit, like the Phalanx Echo and Prophecy, for example. Still, this weapon should absolutely not be slept on. Most of you already know instantly what Bait and Switch does, so we're not going to spend time on that. It's one of the most powerful and common damage perks in the game, but for people that are not aware of Redirection, here is a quick refresher. Redirection states, damaging rank-and-file combatants increases damage against more powerful ones. In simple terms, you use this shoddy to damage trash mobs, and each one you hit will give you 2 stacks going up to a maximum of 30. Then when you hit an elite or higher ranked enemy, your stacks begin to be consumed in exchange for a 33% increase in damage per stack. When enhanced, the stacks consumption is decreased to 1, and the damage increase goes up to 50% per each stack. Lastly, an underrated part about this gun is its origin trait, Subjugation. This lets you exhaust the enemy you are shooting. In this case, it's a boss. Exhaust acts as essentially a global version of Woven Mail, in that incoming damage from the enemy is reduced, and just gives you a bonus layer of protection on top of your usual Well of Radiance type setup. Now, one of the main benefits of running this shotgun rather than something like Legend of Acreus is that it opens up your exotic slot to be whatever you want, depending on your character and what boss you are fighting. You can choose to spec into Wither Horde, or a Conditional Finality, or maybe you opt to go with a Lost Signal or Praedyth's Revenge in the kinetic slot, and turn your heavy into your exotic weapon instead, for things like Anarchy, Parasite, Tractor Cannon, or even just straight up rocking Legend of Acreus with Unvoiced together. Or you can combine the best of both worlds and rock an exotic kinetic slot plus currently the hottest heavy weapon in the game, that being Heathen's Vengeance, and get a nasty DPS combo going. Speaking of which, do you guys want to see a full build video of this in action? Let me know in the comments below. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that this weapon is currently effectively a 1-of-1 in-game right now and does not really have any legendary replacement. At least not one that can come close to matching its power. And yes, before people ask, it will still be powerful in Edge of Fate, and not only is there no indication that we're getting another shoddy with these kind of perks in the future, we're also not going to get tier 5 weapons to drop for us an hour into the expansion. You won't be seeing those for a very, very long time. I do want to address the one concern people might have with this setup, particularly the redirection portion of this, and that is you have to use ammo to get redirection procs on trash mobs, thus you have less ammo going to damage. Well, there are actually several ways you can solve this before going into a boss damage phase. First up, you have the classic special finisher. Just acquire armor charges via things like heavy-handed, siphon mods, reaper, firepower, and so on, and then use a finisher on an enemy to make green ammo. That's not all though, we also have the artifact helping us in Dreadful Finisher. When you defeat powerful commands with your finisher, you will spawn special ammo for you and your allies. And on top of that, we also have gold from lead in the event that you also want heavy ammo with your build, because when you pick up special ammo, you have the chance to get heavy ammo, and I believe this is getting heavy every 3rd finisher that you do. Very important note though, if you're doing this setup and you're using double special as your build, let's say like Tanasha's and this shotgun to start off before damage, you want to make sure that you have the shotgun out when you finisher the enemy and pick up that ammo. Otherwise, it's going to go to Tanasha's, and obviously you don't want that. Finally, let's talk about farming the shotgun. So as I mentioned, it's from the Sundered Doctrine dungeon, so it comes down to which encounters should I try to farm this shoddy from. Before that, let's talk about the focusing system. If you already unlocked this shotgun in the dungeon, which I assume by now you have, you can actually focus to get this shoddy to drop guaranteed at the end of the dungeon on each character once per week. If you don't know how to focus in this dungeon already, I'll have a video at the end of this one to show you as a guide how to do it. But basically, you want to have the shotgun as your focus weapon of the week when you're running the dungeon, so you get 1 guaranteed just off rip per week. After that, it comes down to which encounter do you want to do. The first encounter is just off limits right away. It takes way too long just by solving the puzzles and waiting for the new timer to come up with the new symbols, etc. It's basically a waste of time by comparison. So that leaves us with the first boss, Zoetek Lockset, or the final boss, Karif. The difference here is that the first boss, while it can be much easier to one-phase or just get through the encounter quickly, you only get 1 single drop from this encounter. And the difference in the final boss is, while it may take you a bit longer to do, you can get 2 weapons to drop per clear. Realistically, it comes down to how consistent your fire team is on Karif. He is still one-phaseable currently in the game, but it's not the easiest thing in the world now that Div has gotten nerfed with the particle reconstruction interaction, so your damage will just be worse. However, if you can actually lead your shots and aim at Karif's head when he doesn't spaz out, you can still one-phase him with Queenbreaker, or you can actually do a Lord of Wolves setup on a little ledge and still be able to one-phase him with Lunafaction boots. However, I'd be lying if I said the boss will just behave every single run and won't run around like a complete psychopath. Even so, depending how fast your fire team can go, 2-phasing Karif might still be more beneficial than doing the first boss. But if you don't want to deal with the final boss 3-peeking like he's playing Trials, or you just don't want to do the wheel system, you could go back to the first boss and get a comfortable one-phase simply abusing Bolt Charge Barricades with Titans. For Zoetek Lockset, this can be easily accomplished by bringing just at least 1 Arc Titan with Bolt Charge for Storm's Keep, and then also bringing Anarchy and potentially a Hunter with the Storm's Edge Super. Now, I know a lot of people are going like, what the hell did you just say? You said bring in a Hunter? But yeah, believe it or not, Hunters and Storm's Edge are actually insane on this boss, as evidenced by the footage you're watching on screen right now. Other than that, slap on Anarchy for passive damage and stand behind the barricade when you don't have your super, and it should be an easy one-phase as long as you dunk in that 4th wheel to start the damage phase. That's all for today. I might end up making a dedicated build video for this if that's something you guys want to see. In the meantime, if you did enjoy the video, please consider subscribing today. It does help the channel grow and is much appreciated. If you want to go the extra mile, you can leave a like and or comment below as well. If you don't know what to leave as a comment, you can leave Unvoiced as the comment. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.